What happens when the feeling of God with you goes silent? When you feel like the connection perhaps you've once had, the divine union, feels like there's a cloud hovering over it, like on a cloudy day, how it feels like everything's kind of closing in. You can't see the clarity of the day. That's what I want to talk about today. Today's message comes from a place beyond words, from a space where sound has stopped, but spirit's still speaking. Yesterday, after recording my usual video and taking care of the morning routine, something unexpected happened. I was drawn into meditation and stayed there until late in the afternoon. No words, just stillness. At some points, I felt the emptiness I feel when I go to acupuncture, and I felt the essence of what the Asian Chinese call qi. I felt the ability to use my mind to bring the chi through my body and help heal it. The time was full. I felt as though I had slipped beyond the veil of the body and into the realm of incorporeal, a space where divine presence is, but it's no longer speaking. This isn't the first time I've experienced divine guidance. The Holy Spirit and I have an intimate connection, I think, like a conversation that never ends. But recently, that voice kind of grew quiet, not gone, just withdrawn, like a teacher stepping back if the student remembers the lesson, to see if the student remembers the lesson. This shift reminded me of what the Bible calls the still small voice. You can't hear it unless you're really listening, unless your brain is quiet, unless the nonsense of the world is out of the way. You might recall when Elijah was hiding in the cave, he didn't hear God in the earthquake or the fire or the wind, but in the silence that followed. Likewise, A Course in Miracles teaches the voice for God is always quiet because it speaks in peace, of peace, through peace. In other words, the silence not a punishment, it's a promotion, a graduation into trust. That same morning, my reading was from the Corpus Hermeticum, book 11, and I want to share it with you because it reframed my entire understanding of silence. It said, soul is in body, mind in soul, reason, logos is in the mind, and mind in God. This isn't just a hierarchy, it's a blueprint of the cosmos, a divine nesting doll. Each layer permeates the next until the final boundary dissolves into God. The ancient Hermeticists, the ancient Hermeticists, the ancient Hermeticists, the ancient Hermeticists, the ancient followers of Hermes believed that everything has soul. Air, fire, matter, even the earth itself. In fact, Hermes teaches there's nothing dead in the cosmos, for the Father willed it should have life as long as it should be. This means the cosmos itself is a living God, an image of the mightier one, unified with him. Modern psychology can help us see what this means personally. Carl Jung said, the privilege of a lifetime is to become who you truly are. In Jungian language, this movement from outer authority to inner self is the process of individuation. The external voice of spirit begins to sound like your own thoughts, not because you've lost God, but because you've become one with the archetype of God within. Remember, the kingdom isn't without, the kingdom is within. So where are you going to hear God? When you really begin to understand it? Within. This parallels what A Course in Miracles calls the unification of will. God's will and yours are one. So when spirit seems silent, it might be because there's no longer a separation between your voice and God's voice. The logo is now in you, not just speaking to you. Taoism, too, speaks to this space in chapter 2 of the Tao Te Ching. Lao Tzu writes, under heaven, all can see beauty as beauty only because there is ugliness. All can know good as good only because there is evil. Thus, being and non-being produce each other. The Tao does nothing, and yet everything is done. This paradox is at the heart of the spiritual path of you. The Tao, like the silent god of the Corpus Hermeticum, acts through non-action. Stillness itself becomes the mover of all things, the mind of all things. In the stillness, the action of the mind becomes stronger. When God is silent, it's not absence, it's unified action from within, the kingdom speaking from within. Another passage from the Corpus Hermeticum caught my soul. It says, they do not die, they are dissolved. Dissolution is not death, it is renewal. This idea that nothing dies but everything transforms is the law of rhythm, echoed in the Kybalion and understood in physics as well. Everything vibrates, everything changes form. Spiritually speaking, we don't lose connection, we evolve past the need for confirmation. It's in the same with grief, with trauma, with the body aging. It may look like endings, but what we're actually witnessing is the compost of rebirth. I love that. Hermes continues, man being recipient of God and coessential with him alone is companioned by the divine. And how does God speak to man? Through dreams, through the birds flying in the sky, through trees, through symbols, through silence, but most of all, through the logos within. The Gospel of John begins, in the beginning was the Word, the logos, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. You, beloved, are the carrier of that Word. So here we are at the edge of mystery, with no booming voice from the heavens, only the breath of the divine inside our own lungs. And the question becomes, can you walk in alignment with God when the sky is quiet, when the clouds are there? Can you trust the silence to be the sound of union? Because the Logos lives in you. The kingdom is within, because you're not abandoned, you are becoming. Let me end with a short reflection written in the midst of that holy silence. The voice has moved. The voice has moved from cloud and flame to inner hush without a name. No burning bush, no parting sea, just quiet breath inside of me. The Logos lives behind the veil in silence, where the loud will fail. The test is not if I can hear, but if I'll act when God seems near, or not at all, and still be clear. Bless you, love you, and praying for your healing. If you have any questions, please put them in the comments below. If you have prayer needs, please share those as well. I'm always happy to pray for you. Much love.